So Ricky Warwick, thank you for taking the time to talk to me. So my name's Harel from Metal Temple Magazine, calling you from Israel. So Black Star Rider's third album, Heavy Fire, is coming out tomorrow.
Yes.
How does it feel like a day before releasing an album in general, and how does it feel like for Black Star Riders to release its third?
It's exciting,
Mm-hmm.
I think that there's a lot of anticipation with this record because I think, we feel that we've really hit our stride now and discovered not discovered, but really, we've come out of the shadows of Thin Lizzy now with this record. This is our third record, and I think there's a lot of big expectations with this record. So I'm excited, a little bit nervous, but very proud of what we've done. So yeah, it's great.
Okay, so tell me a bit about it. Like, what was it like writing it? Did you jam to the material a lot? Are you one of those who constantly writes lyrics on napkins and record riffs on your phone?
Yep, that's me. I'm that guy. It's an ongoing process. It's not like, we finish an album and go, okay, that's it. We don't need to write another song for a year. I'm always writing.
Mm-hmm.
Damon Johnson and I are always working on ideas. Mm-hmm. So we're always, evolving and working.
Okay, so how was like the writing process? How did it feel like? Did you keep in constant touch? Like,
well, what we usually do is, we get the ideas that we have, and then myself and Damon usually get together. Either I'll go to Nashville to his place, or he'll come out to my place in LA, and we start putting the ideas together. And then when we feel we've got like a big body of work, then we will present them to the other guys in the band and get their input on it. And that's really how we do it,
Okay, so how is it any different than on previous Black Star Riders releases?
It's not been, it really hasn't. The process was the same. We had a little bit more time to record, and we spent a bit longer in pre-production than we did on the other records, which I think really helped us a lot. But the actual writing process was no different than it was in the other two albums.
And how would you say Black Star Riders' sound has approached, like sound, attitude, like its general approach or whatever?
Right. Well, I think that we've got, like we've been together 4 years. There's better chemistry in the band. The chemistry's got really strong in the band, and I think Nick Raskulinecz is a big help as well in the fact that he's really helped develop our sound and really pushed us in the right direction too. And his guidance has really been a big factor, I think, in the developing the band, certainly in the last 2 or 3 years.
Okay, so I have wanted to ask you about him. Like, Nick has been working also with artists in the past, like Alice in Chains and Deftones and Mastodon. So, like, what sort of effect does he have on the sound or on the general end result? Like, how do you take his advice, or how does it look like working together?
Oh, man, everything. He's just a very experienced guy, musical genius, and we love him dearly. He's very passionate. He's very focused. He's very driven. He pushes you really hard. I don't always agree with him. We argue quite a lot, which I like too. He just becomes a member of the band for the time that you're with him, and he gets as passionate about it as we do, and that's really great. And he's just a genius in the studio. He's got a great studio in Nashville, full of great equipment, and it's just a great place to go and record and to make music. And Nick's wonderful. I love working with him.
Okay, so tell me a bit about the artwork. I mean, I love it. It's a bit circus-like. It's creepy. Like, who's designed it and what's behind it?
I think it was really, once we had the album title, I was kind of talking to my manager, and we just wanted something that was almost vaudeville and circus freaky sideshow, and like you said, a little bit weird and a bit out there. And that's really what we went for. We just thought it would be kind of cool,
Okay, so tell me a bit about your upcoming tour. I know it's going to be packed with hits, like old hits as well, Thin Lizzy, and it's going to start this March through the UK and Ireland. And I've had friends urging me to ask you, what about a US tour, an American tour, and more European tours?
Well, there won't be very many Thin Lizzy songs in the set because we've got 3 Black Star Riders albums now, so there'll maybe just be 1 or 2 Thin Lizzy songs in the set. That's it. The rest will be Black Star Riders. Yeah, we start in the UK, which we're very excited about. We're putting together tour dates for the rest of the world right now as we speak, and all this year we're planning on trying to be out on the road as much as we can.
Okay, so Ricky, for something a bit more personal, if I may, like I read that you recently told, I think it was Rolling Stone magazine, that while growing up in Northern Ireland back then with all the violence on such a national, and so the Irish bands were your heroes while you were growing up. So I think Israel is in quite a similar condition these days. So how does it feel like looking back on that kind of environment to be growing up in as an artist?
I think it's you appreciate as you get older what a kind of strange childhood that you had, because when you're growing up in it, it just feels normal. Because you don't know anything different. But then when you get the chance to travel and see other places and go around the world, you realize that, all right, so this isn't normal. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
Yeah. So I think that, looking back on me, I'm tinged with sadness for what was going on and all the people that lost their lives and all the turmoil and trouble and hatred that was in the air. But, I had a good childhood too. Yeah, there was a lot of love. Northern Irish people can be the friendliest in the world. So, I'm just a product of what I am and where I'm from. I can't change that, and I don't really want to. So, I try and use it to my advantage.
I see. Okay, Ricky, I know you'll have your acting debut in an independent film entitled The Bridge, written and directed by Bobby Field, and it features several other rock musicians, including Joe Elliott and Joey Santiago from the Pixies. So, what can you tell me about the movie? What's your character going to be like? Has production started?
I can tell you that I don't think the movie's happening. That's what I can tell you.
What?
It's not going to happen, as
really?
far as I know. I haven't. That was like we were asked to do that 3 years ago, and I think Bobby still didn't manage to secure the funding for the movie. So, listen, that was a bit of fun. I got asked to do it. I have no aspiration to be an actor, and it's not really that important to me. If it happened, it would have been cool, but it didn't. So, yeah, whatever.
Did you? Okay. Did they even Did they at least let you look at a script or anything like that?
Yeah, I saw a script and stuff like that. But I mean, it's like it was fun. It wasn't like, I want to be in movies. It was like, you want to be in movies with some of your friends and are musicians. I mean, it sounded cool, and I didn't really give it any thought. I don't, I'm a musician, and that's what I love to do, and that's what my job is.
Okay, so you have been in the rock business for quite some time, and you've played, and you're still playing with some of the greatest rock musicians in the business as well. So first off, like, what does that feel like, again, after so many years? And how different is the rock industry these days in your eyes than, let's say, the old days, the 90s or whatever?
Yeah, I mean, it's great. I mean, it's just great to be, still putting out records and still making music, and, like you said, playing with, accomplished musicians. And I hope they feel the same about playing with me, So it's just great. I work very hard, and I'm happy that, I'm still able to get out and tour and make records and play. Music industry, it's different. Like, everything changes, life changes, and the music industry changes with the times, and you have to adapt, or you get left behind, or it's no big deal for me. It's like, yeah, okay, people, we can't do that. I said, well, you gotta be smart. You gotta use what's happening right now to your advantage. You gotta stay up to date with what people want, how they access their music, and how they want their music. And I think it's just really, focusing on the changes and changing with the changes.
Okay, but like, I don't know, like, working with labels these days, in comparison to back then, working with such a big label like Nuclear Blast, have you ever felt like any corporate pressure, or like they told you, okay, like make it a bit more subtle or catchy or stuff like that? Does that even ever happen?
From Nuclear Blast?
Well, I don't know, in general, how is it like working with them, and how is it these days?
No, when anybody tries to tell me what to do, how to write music or change my music, it doesn't end very well for that person.
Did that happen much?
It happened a couple of times with the Almighty back in the day, but like I said, it didn't end very well for that person.
Okay.
They never asked me again.
Okay. So Ricky, what about solo material? When can we expect more of that?
I really don't know. I mean, it just depends really how, busy we get with Black Star Riders and how long we stay out on the road with this record. Probably not for a year or two anyway. At least I wouldn't have thought,
Okay, at least a year. Okay. What did you think of the new Metallica record, Hardwired to Self-Destruct?
I'll be honest with you. I only listened to the single, the actual Hardwired to Self-Destruct track,
okay.
which I thought was really great. I haven't listened to the rest of the album yet.
Okay, and what other new albums that were released this year or recently or whatever that you did like?
I haven't listened to too many because I've been so busy caught up in hours. It's hard for me to sort of listen to their music when I'm very focused on making a record and recording a record and promoting it. So I mean, I haven't really checked out too much new music at the minute. I will when I get on the road. That's the time when I get to check out some new stuff, you know.
Like, do you guys share music and like, oh, you got to check these guys out and exchange, all these still?
No, not really. We're too old and boring for that. Me and Damon listen to a lot. Me and Damon listen to a lot of old music. Me and Damon are the ones that probably listen to the music the most in the band, and are always talking about, check this band out. Have you heard this? So yeah.
Okay. Have you read any good books lately that you'd like to recommend our listeners, our readers?
Yeah. I'm always reading. Let me just think about what I've read recently.
Okay.
Trying to remember. I read a book. There's a band called XTC. I don't know if you're aware of this band. They're a UK band, and they had a book out about their singer basically going through their catalogue and their songs. And I'm a big fan of that band, so it was very interesting to read about how their songs were written and what was behind the songs. The book that I'm reading at the minute is a book by a guy called Erskine Caldwell, and it's called Tobacco Road, and it's about...
Is it a novel?
It's a novel, yeah. It's a pretty famous novel, Tobacco Road. It's about America during the Depression in the 30s.
Oh my! Like the era without alcohol, without booze.
Yeah, but more about the big dust storms that came through the Midwest and the farmers losing their livelihood and all that kind of stuff. A bit like Grapes of Wrath, a bit like
Yeah, I have read that one. I did like it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, John Steinbeck, great writer. I just read the Bruce Springsteen autobiography as well, Born to Run, which I thought was really good.
Oh, really? Do you like it? You like Bruce Springsteen?
Yeah. I'm a big Springsteen fan, yeah. I think he's amazing.
Oh, okay. What do you think about Bob Dylan receiving the Nobel Prize?
It was great, absolutely. I mean, it's great when somebody gets recognized for their art, and, Bob Dylan changed rock and roll, so he deserves it.
Okay, what do you think of Donald Trump and, the global, stir that it brought up, more or less?
I refuse to waste energy thinking about Donald Trump. There you go.
Okay, I love that quote, Ricky. I think it's great. Thank you. So, okay, it's been great talking to you. I really appreciate you taking the time.
Likewise, man. Thank you very much. And give my regards to Israel. It's a super country. I was there in 2009, and I had a really great time.
Good. We hope to see you again. I wish you all the best with the tour, and I love the new album. I'm sure it's going to rock. I did love it. So thank you.
Thanks, brother. I appreciate it. You look after yourself. Thank you very much.
You too. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye.